It was an amazing week for me in Nairobi, Kenya. I didn't get to do as much as I planned, but the time has come to get back on the road. Join me as I travel from Nairobi to Kampala, Uganda by bus through the Trinity Bus Company. Sit back, relax, and travel with this Nigerian. I traveled for more than 2,000 kilometers on this East African trip, and this stretch is more than 650 kilometers long. On my journey from Uganda to Kenya, I was unfortunately extorted by Kenyan immigration officers, and that left a sour taste in my mouth figuratively. I cannot help but wonder if I will have issues crossing the border into Uganda as I try to catch my flight back home from Rwanda. This trip was convoluted and I designed it to be so. I got carried away but failed to understand that Africa will always Africa. I cannot help but wonder how much more I could have gotten out of this experience in Kenya. Who knows, it might not be the end of this chapter. We are traveling with Trinity today and I use them primarily across East Africa on this trip. Most other YouTubers recommended this service. It cost 3,500 Kenyan shillings, which was what, around $25 give or take at the time. A fair price in my opinion. I booked my ticket, selected a window seat and tried to get some work done while waiting. I couldn't achieve much for a number of reasons, so I stopped trying. We eventually left on time. I cannot remember if it was a 7 p.m. or 8 a.m. bus, but I remember being ushered downstairs on schedule. The street where Trinity and most other bus companies operate out of is quite narrow and it has a colonial feel. Do you know when this street was designed? Let me know if you do. The exit was congested and it took minutes of expert maneuvering to successfully meander our way out of the area. It was a cool evening, but I couldn't allow myself to enjoy the beautiful weather. I had what can only be described as PTSD and I wondered what would happen at the border because this time I actually had no money to give anyone. It kept me up and stopped me from making the most of the experience. Nairobi's beauty is undeniable. Naturally, it has its flaws as most other cities do, but it has a plethora of positives and I was sadder than ever at this point because this trip felt more like a week-long layover. Before we proceed, you should subscribe, then like this video for more exciting content like this. Please click the subscribe button, then like this video if you're feeling up to it. Thank you. The journey to the border was uneventful because it was pitch black outside and I did not have access to the internet. I was wrapped in my thoughts and came up with multiple storylines and tactics to avoid paying a bribe when we got to the Busia border. If I ever make a journey like this again, I'll try to get it done during the day so I can share the country's amazing scenery with you. I just know Kenya has wonderful roadside views, but you won't be seeing any in this video. Almost everybody else was asleep and the bus was not full. There were empty seats for people to spread out on. I reclined my chair, put the video on and tried to make the most of my experience. We finally arrived at the border, queued up. The person in front of me smelled like literal human poop. I got stamped into Uganda with no issues, thankfully. The Kenyan immigration officer tried to make simple conversation, but I wasn't interested. I had some Kenyan shillings on me, so I changed that to Ugandan shillings at horrible rates, but I had no choice. It had become useless to me. I slept for a while on the journey to Kampala. Whenever I woke up, I made quick videos before going back. It was calm. I left a huge part of me in Kenya, and I'll always be thankful for my amazing host. She really is the best of the best. Love her for real. The trip became more enjoyable in Uganda. At this point, it was almost daytime as we approached some major sites across the country. It was a rainy morning, or was it fog? But it felt gloomy, and this added to the ambience and made my story more beautiful. I'm not sure this video effectively captures my view. River Nile is the longest river in the world, maybe. This Jinja Nile bridge crosses an essential section of the river and serves as a lifeline to many Ugandans and East Africans. There is no denying that it is also a beautiful sight to behold. The calm trip took an unwelcome turn when we stopped for a long while for reasons unknown to me. It was about 30 minutes and ensured we faced incredible traffic in Kampala. Monday morning traffic sucks. I had a full day of activity planned for my layover in Uganda, but if I had known, I would have respected myself and continued the journey to Kigali, Rwanda. I got next to nothing done. I didn't get to enjoy Uganda much, but in case I ever visit, what is your favorite thing about Uganda and what's one little known activity you recommend? I have a lot of regrets for my East African experience and I especially regret not giving Uganda a chance. I spent as little time as possible here. Surviving a robbery attempt left a sour taste in my mouth, figuratively, but these things happen. I learned more about Uganda by traveling through the countryside. It was a rude awakening to learn that most of what I thought I knew to be true weren't. The country is very green and the landscape feels more Central African to me. The driver drove sluggishly and made the trip longer than it needed. We left on time, spent minimal time at at the border, but got to the park around 11 a.m. I don't know if this is the norm, but we meant significant military presence in and around the capital, and this added more time to our journey. If you're planning a similar trip as a Nigerian, our advice is to start your journey in Kenya and walk your way to Uganda and Rwanda. The Kenyan officials are very corrupt when you try to enter their country by land, but less corrupt the other way around. From Kiswahili to Luganda, English might not be enough for you on this trip. I learned this truth the hard way. Welcome to Kampala, a very crazy city, at least to me. Word of advice: do not arrive in the country by bus on a Monday morning. You will sleep in traffic. Ugandans aren't shy about having fun. I learned a lot about Ugandan party habits and wanted to experience it, but it wasn't to be in the end. But in the meantime, what do you know about Ugandan party? You have to be careful and street smart when visiting here. But unlike me, I would advise you not to rush. My experience in Kampala wasn't ideal, but I feel this city might hold secrets that makes it more enjoyable. Bodas are the primary means of transport for many in Kampala. If you're coming on a budget, prepare to take a lot of bike rides. Take all the documents you need, even if you feel you won't need it. This is especially true for Nigerians on this route. Good luck, you'll need it. You can watch the next video featuring my horrible experience from Kampala to Kigali by road. I hated myself on this day. Why don't you click the subscribe button before you go, then smash the like button too, so YouTube knows you like this type of content.